Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs got an impressive win, 132-118 over the Oklahoma City Thunder, snapping their 5-game losing streak. Wemby was hella impressive. The Dallas Cowboys, well, their brass is up in Oxnard, and they are meeting with left tackle Tyron Smith's agents and Tyler Biadash's representatives, although no sign of Dak Prescott conversations.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pleasure wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. Now, here's Pledge. What's up, Dad? Can't stop me now.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pleasure. Thanks for tuning in and listening, however that may be, whether it's on 94.1 or sasportstar.com. And, of course, you can always check us out on our YouTube page. It is at SA Sports Star on YouTube. You can like, comment along, like Jacob Eric, who is ready for Extra Innings, saying, let's do this. I agree with you 100% because that is what the Spurs did last night. They did the dang thing, and it was hella impressive. Spurs have a couple of impressive wins this year. What they did against Minnesota was very impressive. Phoenix, the way they fought and came back and won both of those games early in the season was impressive, but there was something different about the way last night's game looked. And when you watch it from tip to tip and how they stayed in it, and then after Oklahoma City, who was going into the game tied for the lead in the Western Conference, so the best team in the West, and you weathered their best punch and still managed to close it out. And you closed it out on the back of one Victor Wembanyama, as he did it all. And I started this week Defensive Player of the Year. I know the team defensively is not great, but singularly and individually, which it is an individual award, not a team award, he is not playing with a great defender like Rudy Gobert is by playing with Karl Anthony Towns and Kyle Anderson and Anthony Edwards, who are all great defenders in their own right. And it was kind of Wemby's block that sealed everything.
28 for Victor Wembanyama. Holmgren trying to answer. He is stuffed and taken away. Place is going bananas.
And it should have. 16,000 inside the Frost Bank Center last night, and it was just impressive. Victor and Devin Vassell each had 28 points, but Wemby also added 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 5 blocks, and 2 steals to continue to add to his impressive totals on the I'm wondering, as we head into the weekend and they got a game coming up against the Pacers on Sunday, I don't want to Spurs turned a corner like we did when they took on Minnesota. When they took on Minnesota and they got that win, we all thought Spurs would turn the corner right in time for the rodeo road trip, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then they go 1-8 on their rodeo road trip. So now I'm waiting. I want to see them string games together. I need to make sure that this is real, because what I saw got me very excited last night in terms of the way just the team played. but we've seen one-offs from them. I want to see consistency from them, and that's what this team's been lacking. And Greg Popovich last night talking about that Spurs win.
Well, they got a lot of points off the turnovers in the first half. I think we had 8 turnovers, in the first half. But the 39 assists was great. In the fourth quarter, they scored 22. Any good basketball team is going to play their best defense in that fourth quarter. So to see them hold them to 22 was impressive. So that and the assists, I think, were good.
And they have been distributing the ball a lot better, especially coming out of the All-Star break. We've seen the assists go up. Turnovers can tend to be an issue, but when you move the ball around, they can be at times. But Pop was proud of the team after the way they battled through last night's game.
Proud of them. It's been a long rodeo road trip. It was tough the other night, getting back at 7:30 in the morning. It was a little bit late, but they dug down deep, and they're a good group. They stuck with it, and they showed a lot of mettle tonight. OKC has been fantastic all year long. To play with them like that is really a good feeling for these guys.
And that's part of it. Fred Real says, sold-out game, 18-5, and it was loud. And it sounded loud. It sounded playoff loud in that place, which is incredible that after a 1-9 rodeo road trip, a month away, and they come home to that. And that's part of the Victor Wembanyama phenomena, is people want to see that. People want to be a part of it because you're going to see incredible things each and every single night he's on the floor, and you do. It's just this time the entire team came to play, and we saw greatness on the floor in terms of the way Wemby played and the way they all kind of played in the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter being kind of one of those big things in terms of Wemby's told us before, he loves clutch time. He loves the feeling of the ball in his hands late in the game, and he hasn't had many of those opportunities. But it's about not being afraid.
I would say it's a requisite for any player who want to be great, but also coming into the league already. Most players in the league are they've been through a lot of challenges, and I've been through a lot of challenges in my life and basketball life. So you have to live with it. It is what it is. So you want to be great or you don't.
And part of that is a Mamba mentality, and it's crazy because Kobe Bryant, you wonder how much Victor Wembanyama truly knew of Kobe Bryant's greatness, in a sense of the way you wonder about players today and how much they truly know of Michael Jordan's greatness. Like you know him because he's a cultural icon. But how much did he get to see Kobe play? But the fact that he brings up when talking about physical and mental and what it takes to get into those fourth quarters when the game's on the line, he drops Mamba's name.
It's a lot of mental, and Kobe, he said, to win the game, he because they don't call it any fouls, so it's not as much the physical battle, even though in defense it's 90% effort, but offensively it's a lot of mental.
And the crazy thing is, because we've talked about it for so long, because he was on it for so long, his minutes restriction, right? His minutes restriction. Wemby played the entire fourth quarter the other night, and he's as shocked as that when he found out that he had finally overcome that barrier of the minutes restriction when he was told about playing it.
I didn't even know, but that's actually a bigger even improvement than I thought. So it's we're definitely going the right way. I think a month ago playing the whole fourth quarter wouldn't have been possible while staying competitive for me. So it's a good improvement, and we're definitely going on the right path now as a team and also individually. It's a matter of we have ups and downs, but get less and less downs and higher even ups.
And part of the high ups is winning awards, especially in a season where you've only got 12 wins. It's one of the few things that you have to look forward to. And a lot of people are writing the book. It is Wemby's Rookie of the Year award. Slam it shut, put his name on the trophy, and just wait till the end of the year to hand it to him. Wemby doesn't think it's over.
No, because there's still 22 games left. So, no, it's not over.
But he knows that it is important to him.
It's very important for me. I'm convinced that the best way for me to help my team is by being also individually performing and on a whole season. So it's so yes, individual awards like Rookie of the Year are very important for me.
But the greatness came from Wemby, not only on the court. Well, this was technically on the court because it was an on-court interview, but in the post game when asked about the feeling, and Wemby just made San Antonio fall even more in love with them than they already are.
I miss this shit. I love it. I missed it. Enjoying a game and winning back from the road trip with more than 16,000 people that I love. Best feeling. Hey, everybody go Spurs go. 1, 2, 3, go Spurs go.
It was fun. And we haven't been able to say that about a lot of watching the Spurs this year. We've been truly frustrated. But now, before I buy in, I need to see consistency out of this team. And the consistency is going to be an important thing moving forward because that's part of it. And if I'm going to sacrifice the lottery balls, because in terms of what is best for the organization moving forward, is it this team winning games down the stretch and coming together and being more cohesive? Possibly. But it'd be at the expense of improving your draft stock and getting even better talent, supposedly. Are you willing to sacrifice that moving forward? It's an interesting question. We'll pose it next to Joe Reinagle of the Blitz, who will join me coming up right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs manage to stack wins? We'll talk about the Pacers and where the Spurs are headed.
And we've all been waiting to hear Jerry Jones offer his thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys. Did he speak? What did he have to say? We have some thoughts. Plus, the F1 season has begun. Which one of our teams is off to the best start? We get into it at 6 a.m. on the Morning Huddle.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 15% when you buy 10 or more select primed finger joint boards. Plus, save an extra 5% every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us for the materials you need. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built to...
Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey today.
That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick.
What's going on?
Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop.
But this is a jewelry store.
Yeah, I know, but the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct.
But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too?
Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry. It's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, would he look like me?
No.
Go where everyone else goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Well, what if I shaved?
Still no.
For store hours, directions, and more, go to diamondsdirect.com.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Of course, you can be a part of the show, 210-656-3776. That's 210-656-ESPN if you want to get in on it. But right now, we go to the phone lines to talk to co-host of The Blitz, Joe Reinagle, who's on with Jason Minix every single weekday from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. He joins me via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. And Joe, I've been talking about the Spurs and that win last night, and as phenomenal as it was, as great as they played, as impressive as it looked, which we've heard people say it was the best win in 2 years. It's one of their best wins of the year, no doubt. But we've seen a couple of good wins from them. Minnesota comes to mind, the 2 wins in Phoenix at the beginning of the season, and then nothing after that. And then after the Minnesota game, I remember talking, all of us, about, did they turn the corner? Is this it? Are they finally learning? And then rodeo road trip happens, 1-9.
Hey, it's Jim Rome.
We're back in the dumps, and I'm hesitant to buy in after this big win, is what I'm saying right now. Are you in that same boat?
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, you have to be a couple of times. And I want to buy in. The only thing that gives me a little more hope, Pledge, is the fact that I saw something a little bit different last night in how the team played and how they used Wemby. They actually let him get involved in the fourth quarter when the chips were down, when money was on the line. Wembanyama was featured, and he made a couple of 3-point buckets late that really sealed the deal for the Spurs, and it was just it's phenomenal to see. So that's a little bit different, but I'm with you. I got to see some consistency They've got the Pacers coming in on Sunday. Pacers are a good basketball team. And so, yeah, I'd like to see them string some of these things together. Although I do think they're playing better basketball. I think we saw them on the rodeo road trip for the most part, at the end of it anyway. And but, yeah, I got to see some consistency before I go all in again.
And it's tough that we've come to this point, but I just mentioned it as we went to break because the all-in factor of it, of buying into this team, because I was getting to the point where just for the Spurs, what is best down the stretch right now? Because last year, getting the lottery balls was important. This year, you've got the piece, but is it more important to continue to build with that piece and get the best available asset to you? Or if you see this team start to build some consistency and win more often down the stretch, which would be counter to what may be in the best interest of the organization, but not in the best interest of the team, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. And my answer to that is I don't give a damn about how many losses or how many lottery balls the Spurs have. They're going to be in the lottery. They're going to get a good pick regardless. There's no Wembanyama in the lottery this year. Mm-hmm. So I would rather see this team play the way they played last night. If it amounts to 4, 5, 6 more wins or however many, and they pass Portland and they don't get as many balls, I don't think that's important this year. I really don't. And I think Wembanyama continuing to get better is more important than how many lottery balls the Spurs have. Look, this guy is improving day by day. And what I saw last night from him that I want to continue to see, and the difference between he and Chet Holmgren, was the physicality. I think Wembanyama is a more physical player. He doesn't look as brittle as Chet Holmgren looks to me. And I love that. And that was never more on display than it was last night. So I think him getting better is more important. If the wins come because of that, so be it. I just don't think the lottery balls and how many the Spurs have are nearly as important this year as they were last year.
And you get a lot of the audio I send, and you talk about how much more physical that Victor Wembanyama is. And while his frame is lean, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's weak. And I say that by saying, I remember I've sent a bunch of audio this year where it was guys' first time meeting Victor Wembanyama. And it was usually after a game, they go to talk to him or something, and he'd walk up and say, hey. But when he walked up and say, hey, they saw him and he was in the gym after the game, or he was at Jamal Crawford comes to mind, Richard Jefferson comes to mind. There were other former NBA players who always talked about every time they went up to see him, he was drenched in the gym after a game, working out in the weight room. And part of me thinks that's translating because his physicalness on the court, despite the way he looks optically because of the leanness of his frame, I think it's catching people off guard on the court because he does appear to be a lot stronger than your eye would believe he is.
You hit the nail on the head, and it was never more clear than it was last night to me, watching those guys go at each other and watching Chet and then Wemby. And look, Chet's a good ball player. There's no question about it, right? I mean, he is. Look at Wemby. I see a guy that has been doing this his whole life, and I think he has the discipline, and not that Chet doesn't, but I just think there's something a little bit different where this guy is driving and striving to be the best that he can possibly be. And if that means hitting the weight room after practice or, going to sleep at 9:30 at night, making sure his nutrition is perfect, he's going to do it. He wants to be the best. And I think he's going to sacrifice and do whatever he has to do that. Again, not a knock on Chet Holmgren or anybody else. I just think Wemby is wired a little bit different in that respect. And I think this guy, I don't think we've scratched the surface as to what he can do on the floor, number one, and to what we're going to see. I think we see a different looking Wemby when he comes into training camp next year, because he's going to work his tail off and be that player that he wants to be. And I think he knows he's got to be more physical and he's got to be more sturdy, if you will, to participate and play with some of the players in the NBA.
He is Joe Reinagle. You can catch him on the Blitz weekdays from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. And before y'all left, you got into the debate of Devin Vassell and whether you would end up trading him or not. And luckily, there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to know exactly what Devin is and how he works with Wemby over these last 20 or so games before you have to make a decision on whether Devin Vassell is truly going to be a trade piece or not. But this offseason, if they decide to make a move to surround Wemby with talent, and Jason made the point of the only piece that makes sense for a team to want return if they're giving up a caliber player of all-star repute, multiple-time all-star, would be a Devin Vassell, a guy who has a needle pointing upward that you could see some growth in. Are you at the point, at least right now, where you want to continue to grow this between the two of them and figure it out another way, whether it's free agency in the draft or something like that? Or would you like to see them use these picks and possibly players to acquire a proven entity? Seems like we've lost Joe Reinagle on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Of course, Buyers Barricades provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. They're online at buyersbarricades.com. Look, Joe seemed very adamant about not wanting to move Devin Vassell. And he's right. You don't have to make the decision today. And we're all high on last night. And look, since the All-Star break, the two of them have been playing extremely well together. But in the sense of bettering the team, what may be better? And Joe Reinagle rejoining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And Joe, I was talking about you and Jason's conversation on the Blitz this afternoon, and you can catch it all in the audio vault at sasportstar.com, powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. And you had this interesting conversation about Devin Vassell and whether you would move him or not. You don't have to make that decision now. You don't. You got 20 games, then it's the offseason, then that discussion will be had. So more things need to play out before that becomes. But if a multi-time all-star superstar type player to pair with Victor Wembanyama became available, it sounds like you would be opposed to including Devin Vassell in any trade like that at this particular juncture.
Well, at this particular time, I think the jury's still out. And I'll say that. If you'd asked me this, say, a month ago, I'd have said, yeah, the guy's just not getting it. And he's making mistakes. He's being selfish with the basketball. But the Devin Vassell that I've seen out of the All-Star break is a different ball player. He seems to, I don't know what he did over the break, but he has come out and been less selfish. He knows that he's got Wembanyama. I think mentally he realizes now he's not the guy. Wemby is the guy, and you either participate in that and be successful, or maybe it is time for you to go somewhere else. But what I've seen from him since the All-Star break leads me to believe that he and Wemby are starting to develop something between them. And I think, look, the Spurs need a scorer. Devin Vassell, I still believe you said it, his upside is a plus. I think he still has a lot of room to grow in this, and the Spurs need scorers. And I just think if you've got a guy like this that can be that guy that already has a little chemistry with Wemby, I'd be hard-pressed to trade him. However, having said that, I do want to see the consistency. I want to see what happens over the next couple of over the next few ball games, the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks or so, and see if what I saw or what I have been seeing continues to play out. Look, I think the Spurs don't have to necessarily go out and make a big splash with a big all-star player. I think there are enough veteran players out there that can be had to put around Wemby and make this team successful. And I think you can grow that way. We'll see. I want to see the consistency. I want to see how they play as we move forward. And then, you make your decision. And luckily, as you preface, you don't have to make that call right now. The Spurs, they can wait. They can see what they've got, see if Devin continues to improve and play well with Wemby, and then make that call.
He is Joe Reinagle. Before I let you go, the last big thing that we've been talking about all day is we've been waiting on Jerry, right? Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And what was the most prevalent question that we really wanted an answer to from Jerry? We wanted clarification on all in, right?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to let you hear this and react to it in the moment because John Machota just tweeted out, and John Machota joined y'all at 3:00 earlier today. You can catch that in the audio vault powered by A Best Bail Bonds at sasportstar.com. But Machota tweeted out Cowboys owner Jerry Jones' explanation of his idea of being all in this upcoming season.
I've got my mind all in as far as I've got everything that we can do to have all this year be as far as big. A little
bit of reverb there. That didn't sound right. So let's try this one more time. Make sure it's just not something on the computer.
I've got my mind all in as far as we're going to do everything that we can do to have this year be as successful as it can be. And one of the reasons I feel good about it is because Dak is for sure our quarterback.
And Calvin Watkins tweets out that Jones doesn't fear losing Dak Prescott next year, saying, quote, I don't fear that. No, I do not. Well, because I've got my mind on being better than we were last year, and that's where the focus should be. Does that satiate your all-in comments? He's all in because Dak is their quarterback. Which is basically what he just said.
If you could figure out Jerry Jones, then you'll be a bazillionaire, Pledge. Jerry's always felt that way about Dak Prescott, but they need some players, and I don't know what Jerry means by all in. All in to me means going out and spending money, getting some guys in here to win this year. I don't think Jerry Jones, he means that, listening to that comment there. But I think he thinks Dak can still get it done.
Mm-hmm. And you sound hesitant on that.
I'm trying. Well, no, I've seen it for the past 8 years, and he hasn't been able to get it done. So I don't know what makes the 9th year any different than the rest of the years. So, but they got to get some players. I mean, they got to revamp this team. They got a lot of work to do. If Dak's going to be able to get it done, they had a hell of a team going into the playoffs and all the momentum, and they stunk up the place. And that's not all that he had. So it starts with him. There's no doubt. And Jerry's right about that. It starts with Prescott. And good quarterbacks, championship quarterbacks, lift their teams. Dak has not shown the ability to do that.
He is Joe Reinagle. Catch him every weekday with Jason Minix on the Blitz from 2 to 6 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Joe, appreciate the time. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks for working a little overtime with me today.
Have a great weekend, Pledge. I'll do it anytime, man. It's fun.
Appreciate you. That is Joe Reinigle joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line online at buyersbarricades.com. They provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Jerry talking all in on his bus, and there's going to be a lot more that comes out of this when we come back on Monday and we can get through the entirety of this interview. But his comments about being all in, are they worthy of an I told you so from yesterday? Maybe, maybe not. We'll discuss and we'll figure out what is in the best interest of the Cowboys as they move forward into this offseason right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. Then, after your round, join the San Antonio Sports Star gang for the after party, where the Blitz will be live at 90 Proof Bar and Grill, 11880 US Highway 90, just 10 minutes from the Golf Club of Texas. It's San Antonio's Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation, Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Starting with one store in 1978, Boot Barn has become the largest Western and workwear retailer in the nation. Supporting those who feed, build, and protect America, we offer the largest selection of cowboy boots, work boots, Western wear, workwear, and outdoor gear. With over 500,000 pairs of boots and thousands of top-quality jeans and clothing, it's an honor to support the people who make our country so great. Boot Barn. Keep West.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text KETTLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text KETTLE to 321-321. That's KETTLE to 321-321.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Sizzle to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text SIZZLE to 42424. That's Sizzle to 42424.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Your home for the Dallas Cowboys is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Taking you all the way up to the weekend at 7 o'clock. Hopefully everybody's got a nice cold one lined up or already have one. And hopefully I'm not too far behind that mode. Jerry Jones speaking on his bus at the Combine. And the thing everybody wanted to know was what he meant when he said all in and what his expectation of all in was. And we just played it for Joe Reinigal, and I'll play it for you again real quick as we can try to digest what Jerry said when he's clarifying his all-in statements from the Senior Bowl over a month ago.
I've got my mind all in as far as we're going to do everything that we can do to have this year be as successful as it can be. And one of the reasons I feel good about it is because Dak is for sure our quarterback.
He feels good about this year because Dak is their quarterback. Which, I get it. You've got one of a handful in the league, and he just finished second in the MVP voting behind Lamar Jackson. Had a fantastic year. It was, I don't even think, arguably, it was his best year of his career. Jacob Eric, we really about to find out if Jerry was all in 27 years ago, huh? Nope, he wouldn't answer that question, lawyers and stuff. But, as Jerry has told us,
I want me some glory hole.
Jerry's all-in comments are true to him to an extent. He is as all-in as he can possibly be, given the parameters of which he's working with. He's got a quarterback going into the final year of his contract with the cap hit that is untenable. Getting Dak's deal done, when he says, because we got Dak, is the first domino of many that has to fall. And restructures with Zach Martin. You got to get Tyron Smith back into the fold. Probably Tyler Biotish as well, unless you're hoping that Powers Jackson falls to you, the center out of Oregon in the draft. But then again, that is a roll of the dice when you're sitting at 24 at the back end of the first round. They've got holes at defensive tackle and linebacker that they need to address. And they're one draft pick less like a fourth rounder for Trey Lance, who never saw the field. Although, and I'm looking at Michael Gelkin's Twitter right now, Jerry Jones looks like he has some very, very encouraging things to say about Trey Lance's development.
era is really up. He's exceeded expectations as a person, as a worker, character. He's got unique skills. He's very much what we had planned on, hoped, and when we gave the pick, we knew we would be paying the bonus right now. That was a part of the same decision.
So they knew when they picked up his roster bonus, that was going to be a part of it. He would go on to say, apparently, in this clip from Michael Gelkin, that the expectations are that he competes with Cooper Rush for the number 2 job behind Dak Prescott. He's very much what we had planned on when we gave up that pick. Compete with Cooper Rush. You can free up money by releasing Cooper Rush, and that would help to your all-in sentiment, Jerry. And part of me is wondering if right now the Cowboys are unlike the 49ers, who realized the mistake and punted on it quickly. I'm wondering if Jerry made a mistake but won't allow himself to admit that he made the mistake in making that trade for Trey Lance. And that's the difference between the two organizations. The ability to admit mistakes and move on from them. What say you? 656 ESPN 210-656-3776. And let's face it, the Cowboys haven't made a ton of mistakes, especially in the actual draft. And even before that, giving up the first round pick for Amari Cooper was a hefty price to pay when they paid it. But it was the right decision, and it was the best decision they made that year. They've made a lot of good decisions. But I also feel like sometimes they are hesitant to move on from bad ones, a la Zeke Elliott's contract extension, and making sure that they juiced every bit out of that they could instead of admitting the mistake, moving on from it earlier, and seeing if you can bring someone back or in to do that job at a cheaper salary. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Don't forget, our Spring Golf Classic is coming up. It was happening under a month, Monday, March 25th. We'll be out at the Golf Club of Texas. It is presented by Flight by Yingling. Last I heard, there were like 8 to 10 foursome spots still available for this tournament before it was sold out. So come join us. As $120 per player, or you can register a foursome together for $400. Save a little bit of squalor that way. The San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic at the Golf Club of Texas. It is presented by Flight by Yingling. Coming up March 25th. Register now at sasportstar.com or hit the QR code if you are watching on YouTube, because I am about to flash that up as I go to break, as we get set to get you ready for the weekend right here as the NFL Combine continues on, and it maintains to be one of my guilty pleasures. And I'll explain something that they've done that is going to make it much, much more enjoyable this weekend. That's coming up next right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM and sasportstar.com.
With Rob and RJ.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, did the Spurs manage to stack wins? We'll talk about the Pacers and where the Spurs are headed.
And we've all been waiting to hear Jerry Jones offer his thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys. Did he speak? What did he have to say? We have some thoughts. Plus, the F1 season has begun. Which one of our teams is off to the best star? We get into it at 6 a.m. on the Morning Huddle.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. Just a few knew about her superpowers. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
O'Reilly. You need parts? O'Reilly Auto Parts has parts. Need them fast? We've got fast. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Product availability. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, sasportstar.com. My guy, Mike Jimenez, says Dak's holding all the cards. All 52 and the Jokers. And you're not wrong when you say that, because Dak has them over a barrel in terms of no trade clause, no franchise tag, $60 million cap hit. He has forced the Cowboys to have to negotiate with him in order to lower the cap to where they can do anything that they want. Dak holds all of the cards, and he's held them for a while. And he negotiated as good of a contract as I think any player in the NFL has in a long, long time. Sans maybe Deshaun Watson or Kirk Cousins getting that fully guaranteed deal when he first went to Minnesota. That's it. Those are the deals. It is Dak and those two, and everybody else is a distant second when you're talking about negotiating power and what they got. But as I was mentioning, I'm a mess. On our YouTube live chat says, so Pleasure, who has impressed you so far at the Combine? Well, I'm glad you asked. The defensive backs today have been like Nate Wiggins ran an official 4.28 and may have suffered a hip injury or a growing injury, heard something pop, felt stinging. So Nate Wiggins being that quick shocked me. there were guys I wanted to watch coming into this. Quinion Mitchell, a cornerback out of Toledo, and Terrion Arnold, the cornerback out of Alabama, both extremely talented. And Quinion Mitchell, after what he did at the Senior Bowl, really jumped onto my radar. But then, and this is the importance of the drills. Quinion Mitchell is fast. Terrion Arnold is fast, but Quinion Mitchell is faster. Track speed. Going through the drills, when they start them together and you see the hips open, close, there is a clear separation between Terrion Arnold, his ability to, and when they talk about stiff hips on defensive backs or receivers, this is what they talk about, is their ability to have fluidity to transfer and open and run and turn without losing speed. I didn't know Terrion Arnold's hips were that impressive. And he may be the number one corner in this draft. And it might not be close. What say you? I got Mags7189 want me to ask about LeBron James. I don't know what you're talking about with LeBron. You say Kevin Durant called him out, or Kevin Garnett called him out on a podcast. I haven't heard that podcast yet. I'm not going to speak on things that I don't know about. It's a fool's errand. And it makes me look stupid for commenting on something that I just don't have any information on. Sorry. I don't know. I will ingest it over the weekend and we'll figure out where it's at and then where we go from there. But I've got no immediate opinion on it because I know nothing about it. Sorry about that, but I'd love to help you. But I can't. I'm not going to be uneducated and talk on something that I have no clue. But with that being said, it is about that time for all of us to be able to enjoy a nice cold one together. So have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy it. Be safe. And we'll see you again on Monday right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Do you have failing or missing teeth? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctors Implants.
I had missing teeth. I had crowns. I had partials.
There was no way I was going to walk into my bathroom every morning and see my teeth in a container.
At Doctors Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be